Durdle Magic. Thank you for tuning in to Durdle Magic. Please subscribe and hit that notification bell if you like the content you see here today, and leave a like and share the video with someone you might think is interested. Leaving those likes really helps us out, but another way to help us out is by using our TCG Player affiliate link below. If you're looking for singles, sealed product, or gaming accessories, please consider using our link to support the channel. We also have some playmats at inkgaming.com. Go ahead and hit the link in the description to check those out. Alright, let's grab some spells and durdle with some magic. Hello and welcome back to Durdle Magic. Today we're playing some more Borca, Spectral Sergeant. Looking at our opening hand, I don't think that's going to quite work. Only follow-up being Shadow Spear. Let's go ahead and mulligan. New hand. Much better. At least we can get to our commander. We have lands in case we draw into something. I think we can keep this one. So our commander, Borca, Spectral Sergeant, 2 red-white for legendary 0/5 Spirit Soldier. Note the converted mana cost of each card as it's put into exile. Its power is equal to the greatest numbered node for this turn. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. It does say play, which means you can do lands. Our first opponent has a plains into play, and they are Pramikon, Sky Rampart. Blue red white for legendary 1/5 wall. Falling defender. When it enters the battlefield, they choose left or right. Each player may only attack the nearest opponent in the chosen direction, and planeswalkers controlled by that opponent. Unfortunately, we are across the table from Pramikon, so to get to Pramikon, we are going to have to go through our opponents. Speaking of, swamp into play for our next opponent, who is Arvad the Cursed. 3 white black for legendary 3/3 Vampire Knight. Death Touch lifelink. Other legendary creatures you control get 2/2. Can be very good. You can put anything you want behind them as long as it's legendary. Our turn, we get a mountain. Hopefully not going to have all lands this game. Let's play Spectator Seating and pass the turn. And our last opponent is the duo Ukkima-Stalking Shadow. Some combo-tastic things to have there. 1 blue black for legendary 2/2 Whale Wolf. Partner with Kazult Ruthless Stalker. It cannot be blocked. When it leaves the battlefield, it deals X damage to target player, and you gain X life, where X is its power. Temple of Deceit into play for that player. And their partner, Cazur, Ruthless Stalker, not Relentless. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to the player, put a 1/1 counter on that creature. 3/3 is a legendary human warrior. Back to Pramikon's turn. On the bright side, at least we're not going last. Just a land into play for Pramikon. Over to Arvad, a swamp into play for them. Alright, that's it for them. We get Banisher Priest. Let's go ahead and get down the plains and pass it off. Nice slow beginning to the game here. Over to the partner player. I do really like this partner pairing only because I played Pokemon as a kid, and now cover your ears if you don't want me to ruin things for you, maybe. It's like a trainer and like evil Vaporeon. That's just how I feel about it. I might actually build this partner pair. Talisman of Dominance coming down for the partner player. Pramikon, Reliquary Tower into play. Darksteel Ingot coming down for Pramikon. Arvad the Cursed, Swamp into play. No white sources yet. Shred Memory, they are transmuting it. It is, 2. So transmute 1 black discard this card only at sorcery speed. They search their library for a CMC card, 2 converted mana cost, and they get that to their hand. They do have to reveal it though, and it is Call the Bloodline. Discard a card and 1. Create a 1/1 black Vampire Knight creature token with lifelink. Activate this ability only once each turn. Okay, that's interesting. Legendary Vampire Tribal? Could be. Comes to our turn, we get Stolen Strategy. This card's actually pretty good in the deck. You do have to wait around the table though, and that's kind of a pain in the butt. Let's go ahead and play Mountain and pass it off. Nothing to use the Priest on, nothing to use Stonecloaker on. Over to the partner player. See if they can get some green mana down, but Ukkima would come down first, I wager, regardless. Thespian Stage coming down. That's always an interesting land to see. Ukkima-Stalking Shadow coming down for the partner player. Curiosity attached to Ukkima. When it hits somebody, they get to draw a card. Over to Pramikon's turn. Pramikon coming down for that player after a mountain. The chosen direction is right. So we will have to deal with the unblockable Ukkima. Over to Arvad. Let's see if they get a white source. Swamp into play, followed by Call the Bloodline. Notably, it does make Vampire Knights. So they could work in Vampires and Knights as legendary creatures into this deck. They do in fact go to create a token. Let's see what they discard. It's a swamp. Comes our turn, we get Admonition Angel. That'll be pretty good later, assuming it doesn't immediately die. Let's go ahead and play Mystifying Maze. And then I think we should get our commander down now, I think, and then we'll deal with Ukkima. So let's go ahead and do that. Borca, Spectral Sergeant to the stack. And to the battlefield. Let's pass it off. It gives us a type of card advantage, the impulsive draw from red. So I do want to get that down to increase our options as we go forward. We are probably taking 2 or 3 from the partner player this turn, but what can you do? Ukkima coming in at us. We'll take the 2 damage. Don't think they'll have any buffs, but we'll see. 2 damage is good. The partner player will get to draw a card. Ooh, Strip Mine into play. No bueno. Thespian Stage being activated is copying Reliquary Tower from the Pramikon player. Alright. Going to draw a lot of cards, I surmise. Over to Pramikon's turn. Let's see what they do. Mystic Monastery into play. Smothering Tithe. That's unfortunate. Over to Arvad. They do pay for the Tithe trigger. Nice. Plains into play for Arvad. Novice Knight coming down, so it is a Knight deck. So Novice Knight has Defender 2-3. As long as it's equipped, it can attack as though it didn't have Defender. Demonic Vigor. Enchanted creature gets 1/1. Sorry, as long as it's enchanted or equipped, so now it can attack if it needs to. Comes to our turn. We get a trigger on the upkeep. Borca going to sport us a new card. We get Archon of Justice. We should probably play that in case of a board wipe. Problem is we just can't block Ukkima. We will not pay for the Tithe trigger. Let's go ahead and play Plains. And do we want to let the Archon go and possibly play some removal on Ukkima or Pramikon? I think keeping Pramikon down might be beneficial to the rest of us and get some of the heat off our backs. So, in that case, let's go ahead, play Banisher Priest. And we will target Pramikon. And let's go to combat. We will attack back. Now, actually, let's attack Pramikon this time. We'll attack back into the partner player later. We have a response, Path to Exile on the Banisher Priest. That's unfortunate. We will go get a land, sure. Let's see, we do have a mountain in hand. We do have a lot more white in the deck. Let's get a Plains. Banisher Priest got exiled. I don't know if they missed their target because Pramikon went back to the command zone, so it wasn't able to come back. Damage is good. 35 Pramikon, 5 commander damage. We'll pass it off and go check the chat. Alright, nothing in chat about a mistake, so I don't know. Over to the partner player, they do play for the Tithe trigger. Ordeal of Nyla coming down to enchant Ukkima. Partner player on the attack, off into Arvad the Cursed. Ordeal of Nyla will trigger, they'll get a 1/1 counter on Ukkima. Damage is good, it is unblockable. Curiosity will trigger, the partner player will draw a card. Smoothing Tithe triggered, but they did not pay for the Tithe cost this time. Over to Pramikon, they do have enough mana to re-summon their commander. And, I mean, I'm okay with that. Otherwise, they could summon it and blink it and stuff like that. Pramikon could make an interesting kind of blink ETB deck. Pramikon coming back down for that player. They do still have 4 mana, so they could do something else this turn as well. Down to 4 cards in hand, though. Anointed Procession. Okay, so they're going to make some tokens, specifically treasures. Over to Arvad's turn, they again pay for the Tithe. That's probably a good thing at this point. We might have to pay it ourselves. Knight's Pledge, enchanting the token, it'll get 2/2. Also still has lifelink naturally. Vampire Knight on the attack, off into the Pramikon player. So they chose right? Yep, still right. Pramikon assigned to block. Alright, the Arvad player will gain 3 life, no damage gets through to anyone. Comes to our turn, let's see what we get. We have a mountain, nice, plus a Talisman of Conviction. That'll be good to get some stuff back. We are going to pay for the Tithe trigger this time. They do not need to get double treasures. Alright, let's go ahead and play the land from exile. And then what should we do? Stolen Strategy could be good. It doesn't look like anyone's really running into any removal just yet. We might get a few plays off of it. Otherwise, we could play Talisman and get down the Stonecloaker. Again, it's not really doing anything yet. So I think what I'm going to do here is go with Stolen Strategy and see what happens. Alright, Borca is a 0/5, so let's just pass it off. Ooh, Smothering Tithe. Not paid for by the partner player. 2 treasure into play for Pramikon. Okay, is Ghost Form on Ukkima. You know, I've been trying to build a Gen deck, and I'm facing down 2 Aura Enchantment decks. That's interesting. Primal Empathy. At the beginning of your upkeep, draw a card if you control a creature with the greatest power among creatures on the battlefield. Otherwise, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. To the attacks. Ukkima, if they attack, have to attack us, which is a sad face. Yep, they're on the attack. We'll be taking 3 damage. Oh, sorry, 4. Ordeal of Nihil. Yep, there it is. It will trigger, giving it another 1/1 counter. Damage is good. Curiosity triggers again. Another card for the partner player. Smothering Tithe will trigger yet again. Let's see if they pay for it this time. Ooh, they did pay for it this time. Hallelujah. Over to Pramikon's turn. 4 cards in hand after the draw. Well, now 3 a land into play. Assemble the Legion coming down for Pramikon. That's not good. Well, we do have Ammunition Angel, but that is risky to pile everything on our removal under the Angel. Gonna have to try, though. We do have to get rid of Ukkima before it gets too big and can launch stuff at us. It would come back with Kaya's Guile, or a Ghost Form, rather. One of my personal favorite black auras, by the way. So, we do have a lot. We have a lot we need to get rid of, and we don't have the removal just yet. Norn's Annex. Creature can't attack you or a planeswalker you control unless they pay 2 life or white. Okay, so we can't even get Ukkima over there if we take out Pramikon. We can attack them if we take out Pramikon. Lots of bad stuff happening. Over to Arvad. Let's see if they pay the Tithe trigger. They do pay for the Tithe trigger. Excellent. They pay 1 and discard a card to make another Vampire Knight. Oh, okay. They swing the Enchanted Vampire Knight off into the Pramikon player. They also pay white to do so for Norn's Annex. Pramikon assigned to block. Alright, 3 life to the Arvad player. No damage, gets through. Comes to our turn. We got a bunch of abilities. Let's do Stolen Strategy on the stack last. It will resolve first. Let's see what we get from our opponents. We get Simic Charm, and I can't... Which ring is this? Zathrid. Okay. That's not really going to be too helpful, but we did get rid of it off Ukkima. That's pretty good. And then we get a Plains for Us and Charmed Prince. Smothering Tithe will trigger. Do I want to pay it? Not this turn, no. Let's go ahead and play the Admonition Angel. Then we'll go ahead and drop a land from exile. We get a landfall trigger. Let's get rid of Assemble the Legion. And then we'll go ahead and cast Simic Charm on, let's see, return something to its owner's hand, Ukkima, and bounce that. Alright, partner player has a trigger. Let's see where they send the 4 damage. I imagine probably at us. Oh, they're going to send it to the Pramikon player. I can live with that. 2 combat. We do still have to attack right, which means we have to attack into the Arvad player. They have potentially enough guys to be a problem layer, so I think we're going to go ahead and send Borca that way and hope they don't have some kind of instant removal. Vampire Knight into the intercept. Okay. Damage is good. Arvad gains life. No damage gets through. Let's pass it off. Now, just for reference, Pramikon says you must attack in a certain direction. It doesn't say you have to attack. So I don't know if I just misspoke earlier, but just to clarify. Ukkima Stalking Shell coming back down for that player. No commander cost was paid because we bounced it back to their hand. Alright, that's it for the partner player. Back to Pramikon, 2 cards in hand after the draw. Hopefully not anything else that makes tokens. They're cycling Rogan Triumph to draw a card. Followed Footsteps, enchant a creature at the beginning of your upkeep, create a token that's a copy of enchanted creature. Uh-oh. Also, that's pretty good. Over to Arvad's turn. Let's see if they pay for that Tithe trigger again. They do pay for it again. Excellent. Vampire Knight off into Pramikon again. Pramikon assigned to block. Same play as before. 3 more life for the Arvad player. No damage gets through. Comes our turn. Let's stack it out like before. Stolen Strategy first. Let's see what kind of gifts we can get. Ooh, it's always so small. Alright, so Hoofprints of the Stag, Soul Ring, and Battle Growth. Alright, so what's Hoofprints do here? Whenever you draw a card, you may put a counter on it. Hoofprint counter specifically. Remove 4 from this. Create a white elemental creature token with flying. Okay. So Soul Ring will be pretty good. We can cast that later. We get Sun Titan. Nice. Nothing in the graveyard, though. I don't want to leave it in exile, but playing it right now won't do anything. We'll go ahead and pay for the Tithe Trigger. We're getting it back with Soul Ring and a land drop anyway. Okay, let's go ahead, play a mountain. Admonition Angel will trigger. Let's get rid of Pramikon. Alright, we have a response. Call of the Bloodline being activated by the Arvad player. They're going to get another Vampire Knight creature token. There Pramikon goes. Let's see if they put it back in the command zone. They do. Let's go ahead, play a Soul Ring. Go ahead, play the Talisman of Conviction with the Soul Ring. Get that out of our hand. And let's go to attacks. Hit Pramikon again. Both attackers into Pramikon. We do have to pay white, so let's go ahead and do that. Oh, we have to pay 2 white, actually. And before blocks, let's just do Bow Growth on Borca. Damage is good. Down to 18, 12 commander damage. Alright, let's just pass off the turn. Keep up Stonecloaker to save one of our things if we need to. We also have Volcode Awakening if we really want to kind of shuffle our hand or a piece of it away. We'll see what the situation dictates. Alright, over to the partner player. Primal Empathy will trigger. They'll get a 1/1 counter on Ukkima. Smothering Tithe triggers. Let's see if they pay for it. They do not. Pramikon up to 6 treasures this go around the table. Corpse Jack Menace. Yeah, did this get a downshift? Was it mythic to rare? I believe so, but this is a good card in 1/1 counter decks. Ukkima on the attack, off into the Arvad player. Okay, I didn't quite see that coming, but they are marked for 3 commander damage. We're marked for 6 from Ukkima, so it evens out, I suppose. Damage is good. Over to Pramikon, 2 cards in hand after the draw, 6 treasure into play, or in play rather. I imagine they'll resummon their commander and then do something else. Wrath of God. Well, okay then. So what do we want to save? Probably the Admonition Angel. We can resummon our commander for the same price. And Stonecloaker, we need Admonition Angel to keep that Assembled Legion down. We gotta keep it down. So let's go ahead and respond. Stonecloaker. Teferi's Time Twist, they'll exile permanently control it, return it to the battlefield at the beginning of the next end step, which is what I messed up last game. So they're going to save the Corpse Jack Menace. Yeah, that'd probably be my pick too. Ukima's going to leave, be able to deal damage. It all works out. Does Arvad have a blink spell of some kind? They do not. I think they would, being all tokeny such as they are. Alright, we have 2 triggers. Enters the battlefield, return a creature you control to its owner's hand. So let's go ahead and if I can do it. There we go. Then, when there's the battlefield, exile target card from a graveyard. We'll exile Followed Footsteps. Why not? Alright, so we get a pick on Resolution. Let's save the Admonition Angel. Assemble the Legion back into play for the Pramikon player, but not for long. Wrath of God's gonna blow up the world. Boom. There we go. So this will bring the enchanted creature back. It was their 2/3, or was it a 1/2? The Novice Knight in their graveyard here. This guy. Ukkima also triggers. We will put our commander... Well, do we want to put our commander back in the command zone? We could technically get it back with Angel of Serenity next turn. No, let's put it back in the command zone for now. We need to get down the Admonition Angel to get rid of Assemble the Legion. Well, that's the priority. Alright, Ukkima is going to damage the Pramikon player. Yeah, I think we're going to start, if we can keep Pramikon down a little bit more, I'm going to start aiming into Ukkima. Arvad only has 2 cards in hand. Ukkima doesn't seem to be, like, really, you know, getting an engine going or anything, but they do have an unblockable commander that can deal damage to you when it leaves the battlefield. That is problematic. Pramikon coming back down for that player. I assume they're going to be picking right. They do, in fact, choose right. Teferi's Time Twister at the end step will put the delayed trigger onto the stack. The Corpse Jack Menace here, it will go back onto the battlefield under the partner player's control. It also gets a 1/1 counter. Isn't that nifty? Over to Arvad's turn. They pay for the Tithe trigger again. Good on them, but it makes me kind of wonder what they aren't able to cast. Like, what else is in the deck, you know? The mystery. Novice Knight coming back to the battlefield. Mortuary Mire. They are going to return. Relief Captain. 2 white. There's the battlefield. Support 3. Alright, so Mortuary Mire puts it on the top of their deck, just for some clarification, because the last enchantment they had, it went to their hand, the Novice Knight. This puts it on top of the deck. To our turn, let's steal some strategy. Okay. Fact or Fiction or Relief Captain. Don't really care for either one at this point. Smothering Tide will trigger. We'll use the Soul Ring to pay for that. Okay, so let's go ahead and replay the Admonition Angel. And then let's play the planes we drew. We get a trigger. Let's pick Pramikon. I was going to pick a Symbol of Legion, but they can have 2 tokens. Pramikon, making them vulnerable to Ukkima, is better for us. Or the partner player, rather. Pramikon back to the command zone. Alright, let's see. We have 5 mana left. Not much to do with it. I guess we could do Fact or Fiction if we really want to. Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. Why not? Gives us a few extra cards. We'll go ahead and pick the Arvad player to be the person who gets to see. Alright, so we get 2 lands, Righteous Confluence, Eldrazi Displacer, and Nahiri the Harbinger. Alright, so here are the piles. Let's see what we want. We have the Blink effect from the Eldrazi Displacer. Not much to use on it just yet, and we also have Righteous Confluence. The 5 life and the tokens might save us. Yeah, let's pick the bottom pile. Okay, Nahiri to 2 lands to the graveyard, Righteous, and Eldrazi to our hand. Let's just pass the turn. Over to the partner player. Primal Empathy will trigger. Their creature will get a 1/1 counter on it, which should double. I was wondering about that when it came back into play. It says if 1 or more counters would be on it, put on a creature they control, twice that many should be put on, and this one only got a 1/1 counter. So, not sure if that worked correctly or not. You can let me know in the comments. I'm not a rules guru. It does get 2 of them this time, though. It's now 7/7. Smothering Tithe triggers. Let's see if they pay for it. They do not. Yeah, they haven't dropped any new lands in a while, so I am wondering about that. 6 cards in hand for the partner player. 43 life, though. Reclamation Sage coming down. Okay, so what are they targeting? Is it going to be Stolen Strategy? Don't know. They are targeting Assemble the Legion. Alright, teamwork for the win. I mean, as far as I know, when I check chat, nobody's talking about being a team, but I'll take it. Assemble the Legion down and into the graveyard. Partner player to combat. Let's see if they send it anywhere. The Corpse Check Menace off into the Arvad player. Alright. Novice Knight on the intercept. Change of strike targeting the Novice Knight. It'll get 1/0 and gains effect until end of turn. Alright, damage is good to the creatures. Novice Knight into the graveyard. Corpse Check Menace down to its original body size. All the counters cancel each other out. Second main phase, we have a Zamet Guildmage coming into play for the partner pair. That's it for the partner pair. Over to Pramikon. Again, 2 cards in hand after the draw. 4 treasure tokens on the battlefield. Consecrated Sphinx. Yeah, that'll be pretty good for him. Yet another exiling target. Okay, that's it for Pramikon. Pretty good play to catch up. We have 2 triggers. Arvad again paying for the Tithe trigger. Nice. Lost Legion coming to the battlefield. When it enters the battlefield, scry 2, another Knight. Comes our turn. Let's steal some strategy. We get Hadana's Climb. Yeah, that's not going to do much for us. We do have a bunch of triggers. We'll pay for the Smothering Tithe at least. We'll use the Soul Ring. Thank you kindly. Okay, let's go ahead and play Needle Verge Pathway. Got that on the draw. We have a trigger. What do we want to get rid of? I don't know. Probably Norn's Annex, I think, because we can play the Angel of Serenity and get rid of a bunch of creatures, and then when it leaves the battlefield, it goes back to their hand, so then we can blink it with Charming Prince or the Eldrazi Displacer. We'll take Norn's Annex. And then let's go ahead and play for a whopping 7 mana. Make sure we get it right here. Angel of Serenity. We have a Chaos Warp on Admonition Angel. Is there anything we can do about that? Nope, does not look like it. That is a sad, sad face. I think we just got planes off of it. I'm not entirely sure. Yes, we did. Sad face. Alright, we have a trigger. Let's go ahead and get rid of the Consecrated Sphinx and the Corpse Jack Menace and the Stone Cloaker. Sure, why not? Oh, we have another response out of the partner player. Let's see what they're going to do. Rescue. Return target permanent you control to its owner's hand. Okay, so when she leaves the battlefield, we get those things to our hands. Stonecloaker will be good to reset her and stuff like that. So in lieu of things that have happened, let's just go ahead and resummon our commander for 6 and pass it off like that. Over to the partner player. They will put a 1/1 counter on a creature they control. Corpse Jack Menace coming back to the battlefield for the partner player. Unspeakable Symbol. Pay 3 life, put a 1/1 counter on target creature. Man, I almost never see that out of our Marchesa the Black Rose deck. That's interesting. No attacks out of the partner player. Yeah, they can't really attack into anything without probably dying, because Norn's Annex is out, so they have to pay White or 2 life. Guess they didn't want to pay the 2 life. They are at 40 life, though. Over to Pramikon, 12 commander damage, 4 cards in hand, 5 after the draw, but they dropped a land. 15 regular life total. Ukkima-Cazur's Cage. Enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent opponent controls until it leaves the battlefield. Ooh, that's not good. Alright, let's see where it's going. I figure Angel of Serenity. Yep, Angel of Serenity is the target. That's fine. We get Stonecloaker back, and we can just, replay it, get rid of something else, and Righteous Confluence on the enchantment to get back our Angel of Serenity itself. Borca is a 7/5. If only we could swing. Stonecloaker back to hand, but that means Pramikon got back the Consecrated Sphinx. Consecrated Sphinx coming back down for Pramikon. That's unfortunate. It's going to be, without removal from Arvad, what, they get 4 extra cards? Not the best. To Arvad's turn, the triggers are happening. Sphinx and the Tithe. Let's see if they pay for the Tithe again. I don't think they've missed 1 payment so far, and they pay for it this time too. Arvad the Curse coming down for that player. I feel kind of bad. I was just considering I know from chat, and now you will know that the Pramikon player has Hindering Light in their hand, and they do have 3 mana up. So if we go to use Righteous Confluence on their stuff, they're just going to counter it, and that's not going to be the best. So I was going to use Blasphemous Act, respond with Stonecloaker to get back Borca, but poor Arvad. They do cast a Smitten Swordmaster, but on an adventure. They will gain X life, and each opponent will lose X life, where X is the number of knights they control, which is 2. Now, Adventure works great with Borca. There's just not a lot of good red and white Adventure cards. I mean, maybe the Giant Killer removal guy, and maybe the actual Giant that kills non-Giants, but Borca kind of dies to that. Borca works with great stuff, though. Jumpstart, Flashback, regular exile stuff. It's an interesting commander. Let's go ahead and stack those out like we do. Stolen Strategy is up first. Phyrexian Rebirth, Knight of Malice, and Crystal Shard. For the exile, we get a Plains. For the draw, we get Chandra, Torch of Defiance. That's interesting. We will pay for the Tithe with the Soul Ring. Okay, so what do we want to do? Chandra does give us an option to get 1 more card to work with. Or we could refund the mana and cast something else. I don't really want to use Phyrexian Rebirth. Yeah, let's just cast Chandra and see how that goes. Oop, can't see the abilities. Let's exile the top card of our library, see what it is. We get Oblivion Ring. Okay, we'll click it, I suppose. Tap down some mana. Oh, they are on this Oblivion Ring, by the way. Let's put the trigger on stack. Let's target the enchantment taking our Serenity. It was Ukkima-Cazur's Cage. Let's do that. And we have a trigger. Let's go ahead and get rid of some of the same stuff here. Consecrated Sphinx, Corpse Jack, and Zemic Guildmage. Yep, let's exile them all. Alright, let's go to combat. Okay, swinging to the Pramikon player. Go ahead. It says we have to pay white. Let's go ahead and do that. Well, white or 2 life, but I want my life total. Damage is good. Up to 18 commander, down to 7 regular. Let's go ahead and play the Plains from Exile that we got this turn. I feel like we still need a blocker for Chandra, so we can keep using that. Let's go ahead and play the Charming Prince. Let's go ahead and pick an ability. We'll exile Borca so it can be a blocker. We will not return to the command zone. Under the logo here, it says yes or no. Would you like to? No, because otherwise it will not come back from exile and we have to recast it. End of the turn. Borca is going to come back from his vacation strat. Pass it off. To the partner player, Primal Empathy. Put a 1/1 counter on the Reclamation Sage, which we have to be very careful not to blink. Smothering Tithe triggers again. Let's see if the partner player will pay for it. They do not. Ukkima Stalking Shell coming back down for the partner player. So we do have a potential problem here. They could pay a lot of life, make it fairly large, and if they have Lightning Greaves after the fact, that could be super dangerous. No, that's it for the partner player. Off to Pramikon. They'll have 8 cards in hand after the draw, 7 life, 18 commander damage. Oh, that gives them a lot of options to really screw with us, which is going to be unfortunate. Teferi's Moat, as it enters the battlefield, choose a color. Creature of the chosen color without flying can't attack you. Okay, let's see what they choose. They choose white. Okay, so it says creatures of the chosen color without flying can't attack you. And we do have an angel. Ooh, Collective Restraint. Hey, I use that in my decks. So we can't attack them unless we also pay white or 2 life and then 3 other mana. They still have Treasure though, and they still have that Hindering Light in hand, which makes using Righteous Confluence very, very bad. Cazur, Tyrant of the Cliffs, full Pill Fort going on. Also, red needs more of this effect. Well, I mean, it doesn't need it, but it'd be nice to see 1 or 2 more cards. Okay, more importantly, Pramikon is down to 1 mana. So unless they have a Swan Song, I think we can go Righteous Confluence. Okay, but here's the tricky part. Will the Arvad player pay that 2 mana again for Smothering Tithe? They do, fantastic. As long as we pay it, we should be in the clear. Unless they, again, of course, they have a Swan Song. Force Spike's not going to do anything to us. I don't even know how to pronounce that flute. X, search your library for a creature card with converted mana cost X or less. Reveal it, put your hand, then shuffle your library. 10th edition, huh? Man, I've not seen that before. The flute being activated for 1. Let's see what they get. Nothing in the revealed zone, so I guess they failed to find. Comes our turn. Let's stack it out like we always do and move the exile zone up here. Thank you. We get Living Death, Talisman of Resilience, and Mind's Eye. Okay, let's see what we get out of our own deck. We get the Wanderer. That'll be good. We also get Path to Exile as our regular draw. We'll pay for the Tithe trigger. Let's cast Righteous Confluence. We need to get rid of a bunch of enchantments. Smothering Tithe, Moat, and the... What is this one? Collective Restraint. I always want to say Dominion because it has Domain. In your case, we're targeting those 3. They all get exiled. Nice. Let's go to combat. We'll attack with the Angel of Serenity off into the Cazur player. We will attack with the Borca off into the partner player. We will pay white to make sure our attack can be declared. Cazur's going to trigger. We're not going to pay for it. They can have a 3/3 red ogre. Sorry, they get 2. Forgot. Anointed Procession is still on the battlefield. Partner player intercepts with the Reclamation Sage. Alright, damage is good. Pramikon player down to 2. Damage is good against the Reclamation Sage. It dies. But Borca does not get through. Let's activate Chandra to exile the top card of our library. We get, if I can move anything, a Tali Primal Storm. Ooh. Really, really want it. But we need to deal 2 damage to our Pramikon friend there, so we will not be casting it. And Pramikon is finally defeated. They put up a really good fight, though. Alright, so second main, let's get down the Whisperer. I think that'll be a good idea. Sorry, the Whisperer. The Wanderer. Wow, there's a lot of exile zones. I keep getting confused. Because I was thinking this was Witchclaw Talisman, and I was thinking Whisper. You get the idea. And then, do we want to take Talisman of Resilience? No, we have just enough mana left up for Stonecoker and Path to Exile, so I think let's just keep the rest in exile and pass it off to our opponents. We can't exile anything else either. We have Beast Within on the Angel of Serenity. Yeah, no, I don't want to do that. Don't want to do that. So let's go ahead and play the Stonecoker in response. We have some triggers. We'll exile the Reclamation Sage from the partner player's graveyard. Don't need them blowing up Stolen Strategy. That's giving us a lot of value. On the quote-unquote rescue resolution, we will get Angel of Serenity out of harm's way. Beast Within resolves, and it has no legal target. Over to the partner player. If we can get rid of these exiled zones, I don't even know where to put them. They will put a 1/1 counter on Ukkima. Found a place for all the exiled zones. Sorry if you hear a bunch of noise in the background. My dogs are running around. Noticeably, the exile zone here says it can still be played somehow. I don't think that's how that works, but Corpsejack Menace coming back down for the partner player. Unspeakable Symbol being activated onto Ukkima. Let's see how many times to do that. Where's Count Von Count when you need him? Alright, looks like 6 all they're doing. It is a 15/15 unblockable, though. It is coming into us. That is a sad face. They also have mana up for a counter spell and 4 cards in hand. That's not something I particularly like at the moment. So, but I'm also not taking 15 damage from a commander. Let's go ahead and do Path to Exile on it. Unsummon. Okay. They don't even get a land out of it, and all the counters are lost, so that works for me. We're Unfortunately, we do end up taking 15, so that's a sad face. Alright, that's it for combat. Why didn't we take 15 damage? So, I don't know why we didn't take the 15 damage. Let's read it. When it leaves the battlefield, deals X damage to target creature or player. Oh, you know what? I forgot. This was totally relevant. Prevent non-combat damage that would be dealt to you and other permanents you control. Totally forgot about that. I thought it'd be like good for Blasphemous Act and like one other card in this deck. That's awesome. Now, for reference, Ukkima says damage, not life loss, so there you go. Also, sticking lifelink on this guy might be kind of stupid. Over to Arvad's turn, 1 card in hand after the draw. Yeah, we're going to have to work on the partner player. They did gain a bunch of life back, though, which has me a little bit concerned there. They are back up to 31, so they do gain the 15, even if they didn't deal the damage, so it's not dependent. They're activating the flute for 5. Let's see what they get this time. They didn't get anything last time. They get Ariel, Knight of Windgrace. I was thinking the whole game, why isn't this their commander? But I'm sure they have their reasons. Ariel, Knight of Windgrace coming down for the Knight player. That's it for them, coming over to our turn. Let's see what goodies we get this time. We'll stack it out like we have been all game. Ooh, that's small. Okay, hold on. We get a Tolly? Okay. Is that our Tolly? I think it's our Tolly. That's awkward. Elinda Dusk Rose. She is a Vampire Knight. And Hardened Scales. Let's see what Borca gives us. We get Rugged Prairie to hand, and we get Apostle of Purifying Light. Some of the graveyard hate in the deck. It does exile, so why not? Also has Pro Black. Could be very relevant. Let's go ahead and play Rugged Prairie. And can we summon a Tolly? Let's find out. Okay, we cannot summon a Tolly. I don't know why it's still in there. It should have gone to like the regular exile zone, so I'm not sure what that's about. Let's see. We will go ahead and summon our, if I can click everything under this thing, the Apostle of the Purifying Light. Why not? Then let's go ahead, activate Chandra, exile top card of our library, see what we get with that. We get Inferno Titan. Nice. Let's go ahead and cast it. This is a new addition to the deck. Good for a little bit of spot removal. It has a trigger. Let's go ahead and deal all the damage to our partner player friend over there. And then I suppose we just Blasphemous Act. Alright, all our stuff survives thanks to the Wanderer. Ukkima back to the command zone. Let's see where they send the damage. Should only be 2. It won't really affect us at all. They send it off into Arvad. That makes sense to me. Okay, let's go to attacks. Everything we have off into the partner player. Can't keep them around too long. 6 commander, down to 19, damage is good. Alright, so I'm thinking Eldrazi Displacer because... don't want to use the Colorless mana if we can help it. If they bring back their commander to do all that thing, the thing with the counters, maybe be able to stop them because they can't hurt us unless they kill the Wanderer. Seems like a good idea. Plus we have an extra blocker. Let's just go ahead and pass it off. Over to the partner player. Primal Empathy will trigger, but there will be no targets. Again, Natali's still just hanging out up here. That bugs me, because I can't cast it, and it's just sitting there taunting me. Taunting. Forever. I don't like it. Ooh, nothing for the partner player this turn. Could be... I mean, possibly a Psych Rift. Their deck doesn't really shout to me that they're playing with something as powerful as Psych Rift, but you never know. Over to Arvad. They're going to tutor for something. X equals 3. Okay. What? Tevri's Protection. Again, their deck isn't screaming like super high-powered cards to me either. So it's all going to be very interesting. They get Wintermoor Commander. Death Touch. Toughness equal to the number of knights you control. When it attacks, another knight you control gains indestructible till end of turn. That's an interesting little card, rather. Okay, not a lot being played on the last 2 turns. Going to roll over to us. There's the triggers. Let's stack them. I'm going to try to finish the game as quickly as we can. I don't like to necessarily play with our opponents, and this game has been a bit of a long one. Alright, so what do we get? The small window. Beseech the Queen, Swiftfoot Boots, that's nice, and Mimic Vat. Mimic Vat's actually from our deck. If stuff dies, we can exile it, and we get a thing, and then we get extra defenders. Let's go ahead and play the Swiftfoot Boots. That seems pretty good. We can leave Mimic Vat in exile, probably. Unfortunately, we don't have anything to counteract a Psych Rift, so we're just going to have to risk the attack regardless, and see what happens. Let's go ahead and Ultimate Chandra. We get an emblem with. Whenever we cast a spell, this emblem deals 5 damage to any target. Probably should have done that before the Swiftfoot Boots. I honestly didn't expect to get this far with her, so there's that. Let's go to attacks first. And we will attack off into the partner player. Let's see. 6, 6, 3. That should be 15. All right, let's do the Prince 2. Inferno Titan will trigger. We will hit them for all 3 just in case my math is terrible. Oh, looks like we're getting a response. Evacuation. Instant. Return all creatures to their owner's hand. I do love evacuation. I was actually just rebuilding Tamiron math and left that in there. We still get the trigger, though. Good for us. Okay, second main phase. So we have to cast 4 things to kill them, unfortunately. Casting Inferno Titan might solve that problem for us, though, because then we get 8 damage, and we're halfway there. So let's go ahead and do that. Inferno Titan, we have a trigger. Let's go ahead and throw that emblem damage onto the partner player. 2 damage to the Arvad player, 1 damage to the partner player. We have to cast other spells anyway, might as well not waste the extra damage. Then we'll cast Charming Prince. Another trigger. We'll go ahead and hit the partner player. Let's see what we want to do. We'll exile the Inferno Titan until end of turn. And then let's go ahead and play the Eldrazi Displacer or our commander. Let's do our commander, actually. Emblem trigger, hit the partner player, and they're out. Good game to our opponent. Let's see, we still have enough mana up for Stonecoker, so that's good. We can also... Oh, no, we lost the Swiftfoot Boots. The player left. All right, well, Stonecoker it is for the protection, and let's pass it off. Inferno Titan back into play. Let's go ahead and deal that 3 damage. 3 more damage to Arvad. Arvad's turned 3 cards in hand. Let's see what they do. And they give up the game. Good game to our opponents. None of the decks were terribly powerful. Pramikon was pretty good. I think there was some power discrepancy. Sorry about the background noise there. So, who do we want to give it to? I think I'm going to give it to our remaining opponent. They stayed in through thick and thin, even with like no cards in hand half the time. They deserve it. All right, we got the most votes too. Cool, let's go ahead and take a look at the deck. Okay, so here's the deck. Did make a few tweaks here and there. Not too much has changed. I did add Aligned Hedron Network over Divine Reckoning, because it does do the exile thing, and our commander completely dodges it most of the time. When it resolves, he gets whatever got exiled as his power, the highest CMC. So that works out. It can be destroyed and recurred and blinked and things. That's not really why it's in here. It's because it does the exiling thing. And actually, this worked out really well when I had a Felden deck. Out with the Combustible Gearhulk. In with the Inferno Titan. We don't mill ourselves. It does 3 damage. We can pump it. And if we blink it, it does more damage. So, why not? Did need a 6 drop. There just isn't too many 6 and 5 drops in red and white that do exiling things to your benefit so much as removal. And there also is Hoarding Dragon that does tutoring, but it has to die, not get blinked. So that was kind of a no-bo as well. Also add in Archon of Justice. When it dies, it exiles something, and it's a flyer. So extra flyers are always good. Other than that, I don't think I did any other changes to the deck. It was really subtle, did only a little bit of tweaking here and there. Seems to work out okay. Definitely not the fastest deck in the world. Not unless somebody plays an Eldrazi and you path it and then hit them for like 9 to 12 or something. Cards I'm keeping an eye on, though, of course, are going to be Mimic Vat because it might be a little bit slow. It is cool, though. I haven't really gotten to test it, so I'm keeping an eye on that. I'm also keeping an eye on Bag of Holding. It is a draw engine, but you exile a card that gives Borca some power. But again, if somebody destroys it, all your stuff remains in exile instead of getting it all back. I feel like that's pretty good with the amount of mana we get because we have 38 plus lands in here. Keeping an eye on that one too. We do only have 1 equipment in the deck I'm probably going to take out for something else, and that is Shadow Sphere. It gets rid of Hexproof, which is the purpose, but we could add the lands, Arcane Lighthouse and Watchtower into our mana base. That'll help with Eldrazi Displacer because it's a color source of mana. One of those is like $2 or $3 last I checked, and the other one's much more expensive. I'll have to double check on those prices, but Shadow Sphere itself doesn't do too much, and at that point, I'd probably rather have Spectral Searchlight, or not Spectral Searchlight, sorry, Glaring Spotlight, where we can take that away, or it just statically stays off, and then we can make our guys unblockable for an Alpha Strike. So there's the deck. Let me know if you have any comments or suggestions. I'll try to take a look at that. I'm rather enjoying this deck, actually. I thought it'd be kind of like whatever. This is a very nice casual deck. I mean, it could probably be built a little bit better, but I really wanted to shove everything that said Exile in there, you know? Just to try it out. Anyway, if you saw any cards you want in paper, sealed product, or sleeves to protect that stuff, please consider using the TCG Player affiliate link in the description below. Helps out the channel, doesn't cost you anything extra, and I'll see you on the next video for this series, where I will post the deck list, by the way, if you want to check that out in the description, for Borca Spectral Sergeant.